Days turned into weeks as Elena adjusted to her new life aboard the Arixian ship. Despite the initial fear and uncertainty, her scientific curiosity had taken over. She spent her days examining the alien technology, trying to understand their capabilities and their weaknesses. The Arixians, while formidable, were also deeply interested in her work with the Crimson Vines, providing her with access to their advanced labs and equipment. Elena's quarters, though sparse, had been equipped with everything she needed to continue her research. The Arixian guards had brought her samples of the Crimson Vines, and she marveled at the precision of their biological containment methods. The more she learned, the more she realized how much the Arixians valued knowledge and innovation. They were not just warriors, they were scholars and scientists in their own right. One evening, as she was deep in her research, the door to her lab slid open, and General Thrax entered. He carried himself with a commanding presence, his crimson skin and glowing eyes making him look both intimidating and otherworldly. Despite their initial confrontations, Elena had come to see a different side of him. He was more than just a soldier. He was a leader burdened with the responsibility of his people's survival. "Good evening, Dr. Rodriguez," Thrax said, his voice a low rumble. "I trust you are making progress?" Elena looked up from her microscope, her expression serious. "I am, General. The Crimson Vines are unlike anything I've ever seen. Their cellular structure is incredibly complex, almost as if they are a hybrid of plant and animal life." Thrax nodded, his eyes narrowing thoughtfully. "Our scientists have observed similar characteristics. We believe the vines hold the key to our survival." Elena raised an eyebrow, curiosity piqued. "Survival? What do you mean?" Thrax sighed, his expression weary. "Our planet, Arixia, is dying." The Crimson Vines appeared shortly before the first signs of ecological collapse. "We believe they are connected somehow, and that understanding them might provide us with a solution." Elena felt a pang of sympathy. Despite their aggressive tactics, the Arixians were fighting for their very existence. She couldn't help but feel a connection to Thrax, who bore the weight of his people's future on his shoulders. "General, if I'm to help you, I need to know everything," she said firmly. "What exactly is happening to your planet?" Thrax hesitated, then nodded. "Very well. Come with me." He led her through the labyrinthine corridors of the ship, past rooms filled with strange and wondrous technologies. They arrived at a large chamber, its walls lined with holographic displays and intricate machinery. In the center of the room was a massive, spherical hologram of a planet Arixia. "This is our home," Thrax said, his voice tinged with sadness. "Once a thriving world, now on the brink of collapse. The Crimson Vines have spread rapidly, choking out native vegetation and disrupting the ecosystem. Our scientists believe the vines are a symptom of a deeper problem, something that threatens the very core of our planet." Elena studied the hologram, her mind racing with possibilities. "What kind of problem?" Thrax gestured to the holographic displays. "Our core is destabilizing, causing massive tectonic shifts and volcanic activity. The vines seem to be drawn to these areas, growing more densely around fault lines and volcanic vents." Elena frowned, deep in thought. "It's almost as if they're feeding off the energy from the planet's core." "But why?" Thrax shook his head. "We do not know. That is why we need your expertise, Dr. Rodriguez. You have studied these vines more extensively than anyone. We need your help to save our world." Elena felt a surge of determination. Despite the circumstances, this was an opportunity to make a difference, to use her knowledge for something greater. "I'll do everything I can, General, but I need complete access to your research and resources." Thrax nodded. "You shall have it. But remember, time is of the essence. Our planet's fate hangs in the balance." Over the next few days, Elena threw herself into her work, collaborating with the Arixian scientists to analyze the Crimson Vines. They discovered that the vines were indeed feeding off the energy from the planet's core, using it to fuel their rapid growth. But there was more. The vines also had a unique ability to convert this energy into a stabilizing force, potentially healing the damage to the planet's core. Elena's breakthrough came late one night, as she was examining a sample of the vines under an advanced Arixian microscope. She noticed a faint, rhythmic pulsation within the cells, almost like a heartbeat. Excited, she called for Thrax and the other scientists. "Look at this," she said, pointing to the display. "The vines are converting the energy from the core into a stabilizing force. If we can harness this process, we might be able to reverse the damage to your planet." Thrax's eyes widened in amazement. "Are you certain?"
Elena nodded.
"I am. But we need to find a way to amplify this effect, to channel it on a larger scale." The Arixian scientists quickly devised a plan, using their advanced technology to create a network of energy amplifiers. These devices would be placed around the planet's fault lines and volcanic vents, channeling the stabilizing energy from the crimson vines directly into the planet's core. As the preparations began, Elena and Thrax grew closer, their shared mission forging a bond between them. One night, as they stood on the observation deck, looking out at the crimson skies of Arixia, Thrax opened up to her about his past. "I lost my family in the first wave of ecological collapse," he said quietly, his gaze distant. "My wife and children were caught in a volcanic eruption. Since then, I have dedicated myself to saving our world, to ensuring that no one else suffers the same loss." Elena felt a deep pang of empathy. "I'm so sorry, Thrax. I can't imagine the pain you've endured." He turned to her, his eyes softening. "Your compassion is a rare and precious thing, Elena. It has given me hope, something I thought I had lost long ago." Their eyes locked, and for a moment, the weight of their mission seemed to lift. In that instant, Elena realized that Thrax was more than just an alien general. He was a grieving husband and father, a leader fighting to save his people. As the days passed, the energy amplifiers were deployed across Arixia, and the stabilizing process began. The crimson vines, once seen as a threat, were now a source of hope, their unique abilities harnessed to heal the planet. But as the process neared completion, a new threat emerged. A faction within the Arixian Empire, opposed to any alliance with humans, began to sabotage the amplifiers, seeking to undermine Thrax's leadership and derail their efforts. Elena and Thrax found themselves caught in a web of political intrigue and betrayal, their newfound bond tested as they fought to save Arixia from both internal and external threats. Their mission became a race against time, as they struggled to overcome the challenges and bring their vision of a united future to fruition. In the end, their journey was about more than just saving a planet. It was about discovering the true meaning of resilience, hope, and the power of an unlikely alliance. And as the crimson skies of Arixia began to clear, Elena and Thrax stood together, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.